Well, on the February 5th agenda, there were not a lot of items, but within each item, there was a lot of discussion. So the council meeting went a little bit longer than usual, but nothing out of the ordinary. We started off with citizens' comments. Ms. Floyd went into talking about a problem that's been plaguing the county for a long time, and that's litter and trash. And it's not an easy solution, but we talked about different solutions, and I think it's going to be something to talk about moving forward and trying to find different avenues we can curb that. We then went into two different segments that involved economic development with Orion Rugs. It was a procedural matter that really cleaned up the way it was structured about 20 years ago to a new structure that they're doing now that will allow them to keep expanding and providing jobs to the county. From that, we had a couple of items that were pretty routine with some rezoning. We also had an item that brought a lot of discussion in regards to a road closure. It was ultimately denied, but the councilman's district who it was in decided to meet with the citizens at a later date, and there could be a solution forthcoming. I reported on the subcommittee of the finance that we met last week, and we approved some purchases from the county. We also approved reorganizing the way the museum stores ran. We looked at the challenges of the budget in the upcoming year and the calendar moving forward.
Mention that to people because everybody's going to, they don't think about it now, but we're already in the budget season for the county. What are some of the challenges for the
Well, every year there's items that we decide to spend on, and there's also items that sort of come as mandates. So the federal government can have mandates that they put on us, the state government can have mandates put on us, and so this year we know that pension costs are going to rise for state employees. So that's an item that's going to come down and affect us. We have to meet that. Every year we have capital requirements, maintenance on the buildings, maintenance at the jail. We can delay some of those, we can spread them out, but at a certain point you have to meet those. We've acquired the TTI building on 28 Bypass. Ultimately, we're going to try to consolidate some county functions there, but the timing of that will allow us to have to spend some money and also get back some money. So from a budgetary standpoint, we want to make sure we give ourselves enough cushion to make that happen. And probably one of the biggest things I was concerned about is we made an obligation to the personnel last year that we would meet pay bands at certain levels that were recommended by a study that we did, and the second phase of that would come. But budget starts in the February timeframe because the county works on a July 1 beginning fiscal year. So we'll start the budget process now, and it'll go through many steps, but ultimately we'll have third reading and vote on it before July 1.
And last year was an improvement. There weren't a lot of changes at the last minute as there have been in past years where the final night everything was getting shifted around. Yeah.
We're trying to take a methodical, transparent approach where maybe we'll have additional meetings along the way that some would argue that we don't need to have, but it allows everybody to give input. It allows everybody to give discussion along the way, whether it's council members or the division heads or the public, so that when we get to June, that there can still be robust discussion, there can still be requests to change things at the end, but hopefully the majority of it we've already gone through and we've hit on all the topics.
And finally, everybody always asks about the executive session. Anderson County Attorney Leon Harmon told me that no action or anything was taken on the Joey Preston case tonight.
Yeah, we received information from the lawyers. No action was taken. I think there was, like always in these cases, there's always more forthcoming information. We did take action on a couple of things from personnel issues that are in executive session because you don't want to be talking about individuals' personal business in the public, but and with the disposition of property, we talked about that and made motions out of executive session also.
And tell people why it would be worthwhile at least once in a while to come out to the county council meetings.
I think folks would be surprised at some of the things that we do that affect their everyday lives. Now, one of the clarifications I make to folks all the time is we don't have control of the school system. The school system is its own entity. They have their own taxing authority. But outside of that, whether it's your sewer, it's your road infrastructure, it's your police, it's your EMS, some of these core functions that we rely on every day, I know myself included, you take for granted that are there, but whether you call 911 or or decide to drive downtown, you expect things to be appropriate. We're handling them at council, and so we encourage folks to come out. Some things are routine, but periodically we have some things that really affect people's lives, and we enjoy the input because we try to talk to as many folks as we can, but if folks aren't talking to us, we don't always, get every perspective.